Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I just got back after seeing Hellboy, the 2019 reboot of Hellboy. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not the hugest Hellboy person. I mean, I knew of him, I was aware of him, and I think he looks kind of cool. But I just recently, not too long ago, watched the Guillermo del Toro films, and I thought they were fine. They were okay, but I wasn't in love with them. So I'm not somebody who was pissed, who was upset, who was yelling at the gods that this was being rebooted, that Ron Perlman was not coming back to play the character. I just didn't care all that much. But I respect the people who were upset. I guess I wanted to set the stage for that, to let you guys know that I wasn't coming in with a reason to hate, a reason to crap on this. It is directed by Neil Marshall, and Hellboy this time is played by David Harbour, who I like. David Harbour. I want to mention him by name first because some people might say, I don't know who that is. He plays the sheriff on Stranger Things. Now you probably know, for the most part, who he is. And I wanted to say his name first, though, because David Harbour is somebody that I enjoy as an actor. I like his presence. I like how he brought some real comedic charm to this character. I liked himself. The movie, not as much. I didn't hate this. I didn't come out of this saying this was horrible. This is the worst movie of the year, which I've seen some headlines. I've seen other headlines saying this is the worst comic book movie of all time. Come on, guys. Have you seen like 10 other comic book movies I could name right now that were worse than this? This is not a movie that I probably will ever buy on Blu-ray or DVD. Like I don't see myself going out to rewatch this again. But it was decent, I guess. Like I said, I like David Harbour as Hellboy. I like the makeup. I think the practical effects, whatever the budget was, whenever they did use it for CGI, the CGI was wonky, and some of the action sequences, you're like, okay, I could tell this is on the lower end of a budget, but that was fine. I didn't care about that. I'm not a huge stickler for it if you can make up for it in other ways, if you can have a great story, or if you can have characters that I care about. Unfortunately, we didn't always have that. Ian McShane plays his father, and so always Ian McShane is great in virtually everything that he's in. Some of the other cast, Sasha Lane plays his character Alice, who I was intrigued enough by. She was a psychic who was saved as a little girl by Hellboy, so she felt like she owed him one. Daniel Day Kim plays this character Ben, and I like him as an actor, 1, and 2, the character had his moments. But 3, I want to mention that it wasn't even originally supposed to be played by this actor. Originally, Ed Skrein was cast as him. Yes, Ajax from Deadpool. But he dropped out of the role because fans were upset. Fans were upset because this character in the comic books is of Asian descent. And Hollywood, as they do, casted a white guy to play it instead. And fans complained, fans petitioned, and credit to Ed Skrein, he said, you know what? This isn't right. You guys are correct. I don't want to be a part of what Hollywood has been doing. So he bowed out, and they casted Daniel Day Kim. That's great. I love that story more than anything else. Also, Milla Jovovich plays the villain, the Blood Queen. And Milla Jovovich, look, I love her in The Fifth Element. I enjoy her in most of the Resident Evil movies. But there's something about when you see her on screen that just, it made me think of Resident Evil for some reason. And the last Resident Evil movie that I can think of just really rubbed me the wrong way. So maybe it's too soon. Maybe Milla, you're great. I'm sure there'll be another movie down the line that you'll do that I'll be more into, but for some reason I didn't fully connect to her as a villain. I appreciated the angle that they tried to play with her, where she wanted to bring hell on earth, the apocalypse. Of course, we've seen that before. But she was coming from an angle of she wanted Hellboy to be her king, her husband, her heir. She wanted him to join her. So that was an angle that I thought at least that was different, and you could see him almost being receptive to that. So fine, that was curious. The action there was a decent amount of action. Now that I think back on it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I remember some action scenes here and there, but it still felt slow. For some reason, I did feel the length. There was a moment when I was sitting there going, all right, I'd say like an hour has passed. I checked my watch and it was a half hour. Like, it felt twice the level of what it actually was, and I sat there and thought, man, I still have a good long way to go. I wasn't angry. I wasn't upset. I wasn't even really wanting to leave. I was just sitting there. No real emotion, almost dead inside, and if that's what the movie was going for, then mission accomplished. But as it stands right now, I have to give the movie, if I'm going to rate it, I don't want to go to the lowest extent, so Netflix and chill.
Oh, yeah.
If you had this on the background, and if you had your lady friend over and it was like, oh hey, cool, some action stuff going on, all right, then let's do what we really want to do here, maybe that's the best way to watch it. You're not spending any extra money, and you don't really have to pay attention too much to the story and what's going on. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you have seen Hellboy, which you probably haven't, judging by the box office, but if you did, what did you think of it? And if you didn't see it, why? Were you upset because it's not a continuation of the Ron Perlman films, or is Hellboy just not a character that you give too much a crap about? Maybe you're waiting for Avengers Endgame, because I know I am. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!